Hello, hello, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in. As you can see, I have an amazing special guest in the studio for Outlive the Labels for our YouTube channel. For those of you tuning in, thank you so much for tuning in. Those of you tuning in on Facebook, thank you for tuning in. We have Donell Jones here with us, the R&B superstar himself. And we're going to talk about so many things today. We're going to talk about his new album. We're going to talk about this new cause that he is committed to and why he's so passionate about it. We're going to get into all of that. In the meantime, I want you to share this with your friends, your family, your followers. Get the word out that we are live and we are talking to Donell Jones. Again, thank you, Donell, for taking this time to be with us today and for accepting the interview again. We spoke recently, so part two, here we go. Thank you so much again, Donell.
Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, we had a good time talking last time. And for those of you that don't know, Donell Jones is going to be on the cover of the fall winter issue of Style and Grace magazine. So I'm excited about that. But we're going to talk more about that to come. But let's first find out what Donell Jones has been up to. What has life been like for you since you haven't released any new music for the past 7 years up until recently? So what's life been like for you?
Life has been awesome. I just been, just trying to become a better person. Like 7 years ago, well, 6 years ago, I got married, and me and my wife had a son. We already had a daughter. We've been together for 17 years. So I just been living, just trying to be a good husband, and enjoying life with my children.
Yeah, that's good, especially during a time like this. So congratulations
Thank
on
you.
marriage. Congratulations on the happiness, for the peace, and just everything that you've been able to do and accomplish over the years. And you're in a good place in your life. You just been doing an amazing job with the music, and now you're back. But let's talk about the first album, My Heart. Now,
Yeah.
this was my favorite. My heart is so near and dear to my heart, no pun intended. And I'm sure it's the same for you. It was such a classic. And the last time we spoke, I had asked you about how every song could have easily been released as a single because it was filled with so many hits, so many classics. So, what songs on that album would you look back and say that song should have been released as a single?
I think No Interruption should have been a single. I think Believe in Me could have been a single.
Mhm.
Um, My Heart could have been a single. Uh, There's a lot of songs on there that could have been a
Yeah,
single.
all of
It's
them,
a lot
really.
of joints on that album that could
Mhm.
have been a single. No Interruptions. Um, oh man. I Want You to Know could have been a single. Uh, I, the whole
Yeah,
album, really.
yeah, the whole album.
Yeah, the
Like,
whole
look,
album. You know what? I really had fun. It was my first album, and I really had fun recording it. I really didn't know what I was doing at that time, but I was just having fun in the studio, and that's what came out.
yeah. Sometimes that's how the greatest things get produced. The greatest things get birthed out when it's just you just enjoying and having fun and just doing your thing. And it was so laid back. It has some party songs on, some dance songs that you can jam to. Like I was saying before, like you can play that album from beginning to end and then all over again because it's just there's no fillers on that record. So
Thank you, thank
yeah.
you, thank you. You
And
know what? We tried to do that with every album that I've come out with. We always tried to make it where every song could possibly be a single, and I hope that people think that I accomplished that. I felt like I did.
I'm sure they do. I have a feeling that they do. I have a feeling I'm not alone. And like I said before, like, look, you are to me for Gen Z, for these latest generations, whatever they're called, Gen Z, the millennials, or the younger millennials. Um,
Right.
it's like you're their favorite R&B artist, favorite artist. Like to me, like it's like
Wow.
you are that person that I'm sure there's so many people that look up to you and appreciate that good music that you've been putting out. So thank you on behalf of the fans.
Thank you, thank you. I mean, again, sometimes we don't know what we're doing, but by the grace of God, man, He just gave me all of that energy, man, and I just put it on record.
Yeah. All right. Awesome. Now, how have you managed to stay relevant all of this time without having put out any music for the past 7 years?
I think that is because of the type of music that I did put out. I think, when you write about love, relationship that's not going anywhere, and not to mention, it's was stuff that I've been through in my life. I was really just pretty much speaking my life on record. And I think that when you do that, it's not just you in the world who's going through it. There's other people that go through that same thing. So I think a lot of people love the fact that I'm speaking to them, but I'm also telling the story about myself as well.
Right. It puts us in that moment with you. It's like we riding right along with you. It's like
Yes.
you're pretty much putting out the soundtrack to our lives too. So it's like we're right there. So I feel I can definitely relate to that. So that's because you're putting out classics, things that's gonna last. It's not you can listen to those same songs from the older albums, and you could put those songs on the radio today, and they could be a new single and people would still be jamming to it. So yeah,
Well,
I
one thing about life, love is not going anywhere. Love is going to be here
exactly.
forever. And, that's what I choose to write about.
Yeah. That's right. Love is not going anywhere. You can always write about that. So yeah, so now let's talk about today's music versus the late 90s and early 2000s. What's your take on today's new R&B artists? And do you feel as if their music can compare to the music that you guys released in the late 90s and early 2000s?
Well, there's no comparison because, it's two different eras. When I was coming up in the game, we sampled a lot of records like they do now. We
Mhm.
sampled a lot of the 70s and a lot of the 80s records. And they do the same thing now. I think the difference is just the subject matter. The things that we used to talk about was, relationships, makeups, breakups. And, a lot of the stuff they talk about right now is, how much money they got, how many cars. And I mean, we did the same thing. It's just that
Mhm.
we've grown up and we've become mature. Now they call us OGs. So
Right.
now, we're looking down on them. But I choose not to do that because I feel like, it's their artistic expression and they should be able to do it, and write about the things that they want to write about. And they have to, they have to write to their peers. So I mean, I appreciate the music, but again, I feel like there's a lane that has not been tapped into, and that's where we can come right back. The artists that I like myself.
Yeah, yeah, I agree with that. There is no comparison. It was a different time.
Yeah.
There was so many things. I mean, this was back when you had AOL discs being shipped to you in the mail and flip phones. It
Right.
was a
Right.
different time. I was thinking about earlier today how nowadays, even when it comes to like the use of social media and all of that, that's influenced the music in so many ways. It's influenced the culture in so many ways.
Yes.
Like, you used to be able to be on the phone with your girlfriend, your boyfriend, and you get mad at them and you hang up the phone, you slam the phone down. You can't do that no more. You got to just press a button. It don't
Yeah.
have the same effect.
Yeah. I mean, I remember the days, man, when fans used to send in fan mail, and we had to open up each letter, not knowing what's inside of it. I mean, it was totally different. So with
Yeah.
social media, it's opened up a whole new thing that is beautiful because now I get to connect directly with my fans. Is I just love it.
Yeah, yeah, it's a whole different era. So now, what can people look forward to when they listen to your new album, 100% Free? And why did you choose the title for your seventh album? Why did you choose that title, 100% Free?
Well, the album it's a really a concept album based on love. I just wanted to, just talk about love on this particular album because at the beginning of the pandemic, I was actually working on another project, my next album. But when the pandemic hit, I got a strong idea to come up with an album and make it free for people to download. And I thought about it. I was like, man, what can I name it? Well, it's gonna be free, so let's name it 100% free. Now let me think about why this title came to my head. And then I started to think about, man, it's a lot of things we want to be free from. First of all, we want to be free from this pandemic. We want to be free from these masks that we have to wear. We want to
Exactly.
be free from addiction. We want to be free from self-doubt. And we want to start to love ourselves. So the main point of the album that I created was basically to show that the best love you can get is self-love.
Yeah. Absolutely. Now, when you talk about that self-love, I remember you put up a post probably about maybe 2 weeks ago
Mhm.
about self-love. Like, so why do you think that message is so important for the audience today, especially during this time, during the pandemic? Like self-love. Why is that message so key?
Because I think that we give our energies to too many other things besides ourselves. You know, we may be in a relationship and we may love the person more than we love ourselves. We may take a lot of BS from people because we don't love ourselves, or we may be on social media hating on other people, and that really shows that you don't love yourself. You know, so I just wanted to really put a message out there that self-love is the most important thing, because once you love yourself, you're not going to take BS from anybody else. You know, once you know what real love is, then that's forever.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can't pour from an empty cup. So when
Yeah.
you learn how to love yourself, you can be more present and more loving to others. You know, if you don't love yourself, sometimes it's difficult to even know how to express love to other people. So I like that. Now
Yeah.
you already said the album it is 100% free.
Yeah, yeah, it is. You know, it's 100% free on my website. They can download it. It's called my website is DonellJonesMusic.com, but it's also on all the streaming services. You can also buy it. I would love for your support, because I'm also giving 25% of the proceeds to missingkids.org. I thought that was a great foundation, because you know, I found out that 800,000 kids go missing every year. That's a crazy number, and I felt like nobody was really talking about that. I didn't
Mhm.
hear anybody else talking about it. And I was like, man, these numbers
Right.
are so big. My phone should be going off every second with Amber Alerts, you know,
Mhm.
but it's not. So I figured, you know, I wanted to speak about it. I wanted to use my platform, and I wanted to bring some of these kids home, because I think it's very important that, you know, we focus on our children, because they're the future.
Right. Absolutely. And I'm so glad that you got behind a cause like that because, like you said, not enough people are talking about it. There's not enough in the media about it. You know, that was already such a pandemic in and of itself.
Yes.
It should have been something that was just plastered all over the news. And, you know, people should have been shouting about it from the rooftops. But unfortunately, it does not get enough coverage and enough, you know, people just being out there, you know, spreading awareness about it. So I appreciate that. So you said 25% of the proceeds, if people will go ahead and buy the album, even though it's 100% free,
Hmm. Yeah.
but if they choose to buy it, a portion, 25% of that will go to missingkids.org. So thank you for that.
Yes. Yes. I mean, I think it's important. And again, like I said, I really made it free for those who have, you know, lost their jobs, maybe less fortunate, you know. So, I mean, if you got it, you know, splurge a little bit and spend the money. You know what I'm saying? It's okay. It'll be all right.
Yes, it's all right. Because listen, the album is worth buying because listen, you got some good song for this album to have been presented to the public as a gift during this pandemic. You put some quality into this thing. These songs are so good. You have some like Caribbean flavor in there. It's got the of course the classic love song. You got some things that you can just bop to. And so, like, thank you for having the quality behind a project like this. So, and you produced it yourself, and this is independent, right?
It is. It's on my label, Candyman Music, and again, I just wanted to. All the songs are about love.
Yeah,
Everything is about, you know, just loving yourself, loving on yourself, or loving your mate. It's about finding yourself, really. Every song is positive. I know it's easy to make uh all kinds of records, but I wanted to challenge myself and say, man, you know what? Can you make something positive sound good? And that was my challenge.
yes. I'm seeing some of the comments. Tasia said, "Yes, our people helping our people." Yes,
Yeah,
that's right.
yeah.
And Jessica said we need to spread more awareness. So thank you for spreading the awareness with the album. Thank you for the good music with the album. And so, yeah, all of this is so much needed because this is a time where anything that can uplift our spirits is needed and necessary. So, yeah, thank you. Thank you. So, what's the process like behind like writing and performing and producing and publishing your own album? Like, that's a lot, but
Um,
what's that
for
process?
me, it's pretty easy. You know, I've been writing and producing since the beginning of my career. So, you know, I just like to light some candles up, make the music, and then, you know, get some incense burning, and then that's when I come up with the melody. Once I got the melody, then I can fill it in with the words. You know, I think the melody to me is the most important part of the song, because you got to have that flow got to be right. Once I got that, everything else is pretty much easy. As far as the publishing side, I mean that's also easy. You just got to turn your work in, get a copy written, and follow the right protocols, and then everything else is smooth sailing.
So you like me, just wearing multiple hats, like you can, you can just put every piece of the puzzle together. So you're saying it's pretty much easy for you.
Well, I'm a jack of all trades. I'm a Gemini, so I try to do everything. I'm a master of nothing, but I can do everything pretty good. But I have a great team, though. Honestly, I got a great
Yeah.
team that really helps me out with everything. It's not all me. There are some people behind the scenes that really help me get things going.
Absolutely, absolutely. It does take a great team to produce the work that you've been producing. So, when you think about like what you've been able to do over the years as far as the writing, because you don't just write your own songs, you've written for other people too. So, what are some of the other artists that you've written music for?
I've written for Usher. I've written for Silk. I've written for Jade 702. Um, Damn, who else am I forgetting? Jacquees. So I've been writing for a while. That part I really love.
Yeah,
Writing for me is it's one of those things that I can just really tap into somebody. If I'm having a conversation with them and we're talking about their life, I can really tap into their minds and find out exactly what they're going through, and I just put it on paper for them.
nice. And I know there's a lot of people, a lot of artists, especially newer people trying to get into the industry. One of the things that probably I'm sure that a lot of people want to do is also write. They're artists, but if someone is up and coming and they want to get into the writing of songs and having artists sing their songs, what advice would you give to them? Someone new in coming into the industry.
I would say, if you're trying to start writing, study the greats. That's what I did. I listened to people like Stevie Wonder, Smokey Robinson, the Ozzy Brothers. I also listened to Babyface, incredible writer, Gamble and Huff, Jimmy Jam, and Terry Lewis. These guys wrote so many incredible records that if you just go back and listen to it, you can find out what made this a hit. What
Hmm.
what did they do? How did they structure it? Was it 8 bars? Was it 4 bars? How did they do that? I mean, everything for me was intriguing. So I wanted to find out the ins and outs about everything and how it went. And that's what I did. And I think that, if you're young and you're coming up in the game, you have to study the greats in order to understand where music is and where it's going and where it was.
Nice. Somebody just commented, yes, one of the best songwriters they know. That's right.
I appreciate you.
Yeah. Now, speaking of Stevie Wonder, because you mentioned studying the greats, you mentioned Stevie Wonder, so you know what I'm about to ask you, right?
I know.
So how tell us the backstory of how it came about that you covered his song on your first album. Tell us that backstory.
Well, honestly, I'm a Stevie Wonder fan, but I didn't even know that this was Stevie's song. So a producer by the name of Darren Winnington, him and his wife hit me up. They was like, "Yo, Donell, I want you to come over and sing this song for me because I want to use it for my producer's reel. This is going to help me get more work." So when I got there, his wife sang the song to me, and I sang it to the tape. And they was like, "Yo, by the way, this is Stevie Wonder joint." I'm like, "Wow!" I mean, I felt like I had heard it before, but I didn't. Had I known it was a Stevie Wonder song, I probably wouldn't have did it because I would have froze up. I probably would have been, very scared because I mean nobody touched Stevie. You know what I'm saying? So I'm happy that they didn't mention that before I sang it, and they did it afterwards. And when Eddie heard it, he was like, "Yo, man, this got to go on your album. We got to put this out." So yeah, that's how that really happened.
Yeah. I'm glad that it wound up on the album. That,
I mean, I am too.
yes, that really just like for you to be able to cover it the way that you did. I'm so glad that you didn't have that nervousness and intimidation behind it and to jack it up because you really pulled that thing off. Thank you.
I'm just happy that I didn't know because if I had known, I would have been intimidated. I wouldn't have did it. I ain't gonna even lie. I wouldn't have did it.
Well, I'm glad you did. So now let's talk about your new single. One of the singles from 100% Free. You recently went back home to Chicago.
Yes,
You shot the official video for the single. The single is Karma, Payback.
yes.
So what did you enjoy about that experience the most?
Just being home. Just being home. I had never shot a video in Chicago, and I wanted to show my city. I wanted to show my city finally. This is my project. It's coming out on my label. When I was with LaFace Record, I'm happy they gave me the opportunity, but I couldn't choose where I wanted to shoot videos. So quite naturally, most of them was in New York and some was in LA. And I always wanted to shoot a video in Chicago. So when I got the opportunity, Carl Thomas came out, RL from Next came
Nice.
out. Jacquees came out. I mean, it was beautiful to to sit with these guys, man, and converse. And we had an awesome time. It just felt like a moment, and
Yeah.
it was really good. It was really good.
Nice, nice. So now your hometown, Chicago. Tell us about, what life was like coming up when you were young, and how did growing up in Chicago influence you musically?
Oh well, growing up in Chicago, I mean, it's a beautiful city. Quite naturally, every city got a hood. It was gang banging, drug selling, drug dealing, all kind of things. But music really kept me off the streets. When I got about 14 or 15, I did get involved in a little bit of gang banging and all that stuff like that. But when I started seeing my friends get locked up, it really pushed me back in the house, back on that keyboard. Because I wasn't really trying to go to jail. So. Um, by the time I got about 15, I got with a group. We started doing shows around Chicago. So I mean, it being in Chicago, it's a beautiful city, and I mean, my swag is all Chicago. My style, like my music is definitely Chicago. I listen to the Shy Lights, a lot of the music that came from Chicago. So a
Yeah.
lot of people don't know that there's a lot of artists in this music business that came from Chicago. They probably just don't claim their home.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So then you said your style was influenced. So back when you first came out, you was known for having the hat on, the
Yeah.
shades,
Yeah.
all of that. That's Chicago, huh?
That's all Chi Town. You know what? I say Midwest. But Chicago got its own little flavor. But yeah, the hats. What I'm saying, nice dress. That was all Chicago for me.
Nice, nice. So now I just want to end this with talking about how important family is to you. So you're very close with your immediate family, your nieces, your nephews. How important is that close family unit, and how did you manage to keep everyone so close, especially during this pandemic?
Because we wasn't having it. We wasn't having being away from each other. You know what I'm saying? We gonna get
No.
together. I mean, because look, this how I live my life. I live by faith. You know what I'm saying? Anything could happen. Something could happen 10 years ago. Something could happen tomorrow. I'm not scared of anything. You know what I'm saying? So I put all my faith in the creator. So my family is like that as well. We love to be around each other. We love to have cookouts. We love to, sit around and debate each other. So when we get a chance, this pandemic didn't do anything to stop our flow. We
All
still
right.
got together and we still do that today.
All right, I love it. So this pandemic, I know that, a lot of us had to make some pivots. We had to make some adjustments.
Oh
But
yeah.
it's good to know that, it didn't stop y'all flow. Y'all were still able to be together to be there because so many people had to be separated all of a sudden
Right.
and isolated from each other. So you had a chance to make sure that your family stayed closely, like y'all stayed tight during this pandemic. Is that what I'm hearing?
No, we stayed super tight. I mean, in the beginning, everybody was a little petrified, but I don't live off fear. I had to, let everybody know, look, man, whatever it is, we gonna make it through this. You know what I'm saying? And as we always do, even as a country, as humanity, we always make it through these things. So I just had to instill that love and that and just that energy of look, don't fear anything, man. Don't fear anything. Let's just get together. Let's have a good time. And we do it today. And again, everybody's safe. Nobody
Yes.
has no have nobody has had COVID. Nobody has, has anything.
I'm glad to hear that. Yeah, that's inspiring. It's encouraging, and I'm so glad that you all are safe and that you all have been happy and you've had a healthy environment of just family and support. And in the midst of all of that, you produced this album and put this album out. And you thought about the public, you thought about the fans, you thought about the things that people are going through, and you wanted to give us something and show us some love. So I just want to just say thank you once again. I know I can speak on behalf of everyone listening in. Thank you on behalf of everybody for thinking about us too. So, because y'all could have
Man,
been in your own little world, but you thought about us.
thank you. This was very important to me. When I get a strong sensation about something, I have to do it. And again, that vibration was so strong that I got to do this. And I did. I really challenged myself. I think I did this album in a month and a half. And I was really proud of myself for getting it done because, there were some deadlines that I didn't make, But at the end of the day, I was like, you know what? That's what's supposed to happen. You know, I was supposed to release the album in 2020, but it came out on Valentine's Day in 2021, which was even more perfect because the album is about love.
Right.
So it just felt like everything happened for a reason, and I'm happy that it's out right now, and I hope the fans love it. And I can't wait to give them this next album, which is called Elevate, which is the one that I've been waiting on.
All right. So the next one is Elevate.
Yeah.
So, oh, listen.
So we go from 100% free to elevation.
Yes, I love it.
Yes.
So here's some comments. You know, people are loving what they're hearing. They're loving the music that you're putting out and what you have coming up. You know, there's so many people I know expecting, you know, this. Like, look, they already know 100% free. The albums that came before it, those are already great. But I know I can only imagine people are just expecting you to just turn it up a notch, go even higher. So yeah.
Let me tell you, 100% free was just the appetizer. I only made it 7 songs. You know what I'm saying? And that was by design. I made it 7 songs. It was my 7th album, and I have been going for 7 years. But Elevate, it's on a whole nother level. We shutting it down with Elevate for real, for real.
All
I've been
right.
going for 7 years. I got a lot to talk about. I've been working
I
on this album
imagine.
for a while, so I just can't wait to give it to him for real.
All right. So Linda said we can't wait to hear it. That's right,
Yeah,
Linda.
yeah,
I'm in total agreement. We cannot
yeah.
wait to hear it. And so you mentioned the 7 years, 7th album, 100% free, 7th album, 7 years. Did you purposely time it with that number 7?
I did. I did. I mean, it was well. I didn't time it. What happened was that it was just all in alignment. It just happened to. I was like, man. One day I was thinking, I'm like, man, this is my 7th album. I've been going for 7 years. I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
do 7 songs. I'm gonna do 7 songs, and I'm gonna make it all about love. 777 is completion.
Yes.
And I feel like, right now we're in a pandemic, but we should be celebrating the fact that, we need to be free from a lot of things.
Uh-huh.
And one of the things we need to be free from is, you know fear. That's the main thing that we need to be free from, because fear itself is an illusion. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You have to understand that, man, when you got the higher power in you, and you know that, and you believe that, and you breathe and you sleep that, nothing else should matter.
That's right. Wow. So Rochelle said real R&B is back. Now
Oh yeah.
we like the new music, but there's nothing like a Donell Jones. Like, we it's so good to have you back on the music scene. So Rochelle, thank you for that. And someone else said, yes, thank you for always looking for your next album. Number one fan.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm
So
always stay in my lane. You know what I'm saying? I have a certain sound that I can't get out of because it's me. So I can't change me. So I mean, well, I can, but I mean, I can't change my sound because it is who I am.
right.
So it's always going to be Donell Jones, but it's going to be Donell Jones today.
Yes. Donell Jones today. Now listen, no, so Elevation, that's gonna be the 8th album. So 8, that's gonna be new beginnings.
Oh yeah.
So we're gonna go from completion to new
Oh
beginnings
yeah.
and just go to the whole next level. So I'm
Yes.
excited about Elevation. So do
Yeah.
you know the time frame? When is that gonna drop?
I want to do it later this year.
Okay.
Um, but again, I want to, let this album get it, because I'm going to do a few videos for this particular album. So I want to give this album a chance to shine. I don't want to, just jump out there and throw something else out
Right.
without giving this album its proper, promotion, and let it do what it needs to do. Because I mean, again, there's a message in the music, and I want that message to be heard. So
Yeah.
I'm going to wait some time, get these videos out, and I'm going to hit them with Elevate.
Yeah. It'll be at the perfect time. I know it. Just like 100% free. It came out at the perfect time. That it wasn't in the original plan for it to be February 14th, Valentine's Day, but it worked out. Timing was right. And like you said, you don't want to rush into the next project. So I know it's going to be the right time. This is simmering. We got the appetizer. So
Yes.
you
Yes.
you keeping us entertained and giving us some good music in the meantime. So that is, absolutely, we got something to carry us until we get to Elevation. So yeah, but we'll be anticipating that. We're gonna be looking for it. So those of you that are listening, be on the lookout. Stay in tune with what Donell is doing. Go to his Instagram. Stay connected with him. Check the website out. So give us, what's your Instagram page, Donell, so that people can follow you on Instagram.
My Instagram is Donell Jones Forever. My Facebook is Donell Jones Music. My website is DonellJonesMusic.com. And my Twitter is Donell Jones 96.
Love it. And you're also on Clubhouse now, the new
Oh,
app.
yeah, I'm on Clubhouse too.
Yeah,
There's so many of them right now. I
I
mean,
know.
but
It's so
I
many
think
different
Clubhouse
social
is
media
Donell
channels.
Jones Music too. I'm not sure, but I think it's one of them.
Yeah. Yeah, but I'm sure they'll be able to find. Type in Donell Jones on Clubhouse, you'll find him. And for those of you that don't know what Clubhouse is, it's a new app. So, but I think you have to be only for iPhone users for now.
Yeah,
So check them out on all the social media platforms, because whether you have iPhone, Android, whatever, you can still follow him on the other social media on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all of that, and go to his website so that you can stay connected and find out what he has going on. So
yes.
you have any other projects, anything else up your sleeve? You what's anything else going on that you want
Well,
to share with us?
we got the remix for Karma coming. It's gonna be me, RL from Next. It's gonna be Jacquees on that joint. It's gonna be Carl
Nice,
Thomas on there, and we're also gonna have Dave Hollister on that joint. It's
nice.
fire. Is It's an amazing record, man. I mean, it's totally different from the original, and it's hot. It's real. It's super hot.
All right. We can't wait to hear it.
Yeah,
Wow. All right, for those of you that didn't hear the announcement at the very beginning, Donell is going to be on the cover of the fall winter issue of Style and Grace magazine.
yes,
So
yes.
thank you for being on the cover,
Thank you
and
for having me.
yeah, and for allowing
Yeah,
us to, interview you and to feature you in the magazine. It has been an absolute pleasure and an honor.
thank you. I really appreciate your time too. This has been awesome.
Yeah, and you're so down to earth, and I'm sure the fans can see that you had major success, you had great success, you had a wonderful career, still riding high, and got some great things on the way. But just to be able to see you and see you interacting with the fans, I know that people really are appreciative just to see just how you're able to interact and just be present. So we
Yeah.
appreciate that.
Thank you. Music it's just my job. It's no different than somebody going out working at the post office. I just happen to be, a songwriter that loves to write music and go on stage and sing. So I don't look at myself any bigger than anybody else in this world. I just love what I do, and you should as well.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's amazing because you just happen to have a cool job. You just happen to have the
Yeah,
job that you just happen to have some fame along with that. So again, we are also appreciative that 25% of the proceeds of 100% free go to missingkids.org.
yeah,
So this man is supporting a cause that is so important. It is so crucial that we stay aware and that we remain committed to spreading awareness however we can. And so Donell has already committed to, if you buy the album 100% free, 25% of that will go to missingkids.org, which
yes,
is an organization that advocates and spreads awareness surrounding missing and exploited children. Even if you've never heard of this before, even if you don't really know too much about this type of cause, it is a great cause. Check it out. Look up the
yeah,
statistics. Look at the numbers. And if it does not push you or move you to action, I really don't know what will. This is absolutely an important issue that we do need to discuss a lot more. So thank you once again for that, Donell. Any last words that you want to share concerning that to really move people to action?
Now I just want to say, man, again, the numbers are 800,000 kids go missing a year. That's 1.6 million parents looking for the kids. Just them numbers alone should make you wonder, why isn't my Amber Alert going off every second with that many kids being missing? So, and that's just in America. We're not even talking about worldwide. That's just America.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So just imagine what the numbers are worldwide. So I think it's very important that we get the word out there, we spread it, and bring some of these kids home. That's very important.
Yes, absolutely. Linda said, what a great cause. Rochelle said, support, support, support. That's right. And then now that's going to put a smile on your face. Yvonne said, I love Mr. Dimples, aka Donald.
I appreciate you, Yvonne.
Yes. So thank you once again, Donell. It has been an absolute pleasure. You're amazing. The music is awesome. Thank you
Thank
for what you've been able to do. Thank you for getting behind a great cause. And thank you once again for an awesome interview.
I appreciate you. Thank you for having me.
You're absolutely welcome. And thank you to you, the listener, for tuning in. This has been the Outlive the Labels podcast and YouTube channel. So I want you to like, I want you to subscribe, I want you to leave a review. This is how you say thank you and show your appreciation for what you heard today. Listen, Donell has been amazing. This has been an awesome interview. So I want you to also share this particular episode, share it with those that you know. Let them listen in and get a taste of what we talked about today, and go get that album 100% free from Donell Jones' website. What's the website once again?
It's DonellJonesMusic.com. And look, listen to what she said. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Thank you for reminding them that. Yes. Yes, like and subscribe. This is how we keep bringing you great content, and we want to know that we're bringing you what you want to hear. So we appreciate you. And until next time, this has been Outlive the Labels with your host, Dr. Mary Kay Holmes. Until next time.
Yes.